All right, so apparently real estate investing is getting much worse. Let's see what she's talking about here.
I've been actually thinking about this about 2 nights ago. I don't know why I was thinking about this, but recently I've had a spate of really bad long term tenant experiences. One of my tenants in Baltimore, he is vacating today. He owes me more than $4,000 in back rent. I was too kind to him. He kept telling me that he was going to catch up and he would just like give me a little here and there, just like keep me online.
There's the key right there. I've been investing in real estate for a very long time. And she said something about him being kind, or she was being kind to him. Look, this is a business. If you don't treat your rental property like a business, you're going to get screwed, and a tenant is going to owe you $4,000 by the time you evict them or they voluntarily move out.
But then at the end of the day, he's leaving me $4,000 in the hole. And I'm sure I'm going to have to fix his home. That house is having another leak. So this is what happens in real estate. These are the real stories that I don't think anyone is really telling you because all the gurus are so busy trying to sell you on just doing it. When I'm like, I make like over 200,000 every single year, both in real estate and in my personal business. So I'm probably earning more than 400 grand a year. And I'm like, real estate is fucking expensive. Like you guys don't know how expensive this shit is. Every single cent that you earn goes right back into the property. Like at some point it does because these properties have upkeep costs. So for instance, that two family I just told you about with the leak, that one was newly renovated when I purchased it in 2016. And the situation there was the person who renovated it didn't give a shit. And they left it where now there's leaks, there's issues, there's like problems. Like this.
All right. Well, she says it's around 2016, right? I'm not sure when this video was, but I think it's pretty new. So you're talking about 9 years ago, 10 years ago ish, right? So things are going to go wrong. And tenants will typically not treat your property as nice as you would treat it.
Happens a lot in real estate. People will fix and flip and sell to your ass, selling you the dream, and you're stuck with the shit bag. And and the other tenant, I just showed you guys that video, she just left things in a terrible condition and she left a stolen shotgun on my kitchen table that we had to hand into the police. I mean, again, just issues.
I'm starting to get the impression here that she could probably do a better job when she's screening her tenants. What do you think? I learned the hard way early on when I was investing in real estate that um, you definitely need to screen. And I'd rather have a property sit vacant for a little bit longer and know that, or at least feel like I got the right tenant at some point, than take someone where I'm kind of taking a chance on them, because this is exactly what happens.
You just don't think it's going to happen. Just the junk removal, it was like $1,000. Like that's the labor cost when you don't live in the area. And since I invest out of.
Okay, time out. Huge mistake here, especially for a smaller real estate investor, which sounds like she's a smaller real estate investor. She's not a gigantic company that owns properties all over the country with management teams. So if you're a smaller or newer real estate investor, why would you buy a property that you can't drive by? You should always be able to, hey, let me just drive by that property and see what's going on there. Not knock on the door, just eyeball it, right? Eyeball it from your car. If you can't keep an eye on the property, you shouldn't be buying it.
State, like I have to pay people to do all of this stuff. And if you weren't paying people, you would have to do it yourself. So either way, it's time, energy, and value that it takes to fix properties, get it up and running. And then people are like, well, buy a nice house with nice tenants then. Well, that shit's expensive. It's like 400 to 500,000. So again, like that doesn't even make sense. Are you going to rent the home for more than $5,000 to be worth your free?
So that's where it really depends on what your goal is as a real estate investor. Some people are really looking for cash flow. Some people are looking for appreciation, and others are looking for a combination of the two. In certain areas, it can be hard to cash flow, depending on how much cash you have to work with. If you follow Dave Ramsey, he'll tell you for investment properties, you pay cash. Not everybody can do that. In fact, probably a very small percentage of people can do that. So you want to look at the ROI. So you got to sit down and you really have to understand, does this investment make financial sense?
Freaking effort, because a roof leak is, there you go, a couple hundred right there, bam.
Yeah.
Then if you need to fix the roof, that's a $10,000 bill, like, so I don't think most people understand being a real estate investor right now has never been worse.
I don't know if it's really ever changed, honestly. I think it's always been the same. Houses break, tenants can be bad. She's obviously really frustrated, but I think the biggest mistakes that she's making, and I can figure this out in 5 minutes watching this video, is she bought a property that's far away. She didn't screen her tenant properly, and it seems to be an ongoing issue with her. So maybe she should sell this property and use a 1031 exchange and buy something nearby.
The cost of goods are going up. Inflation is rising, outpacing
Sure.
rental yield. Tenants are causing damages more than ever. Policy is moving against small-time landlords. It's moving against landlords more and more.
There's some truth there. Depending on where you live, there are definitely a lot of regulations regarding landlording, and there are some states and definitely counties that have gotten really, really tenant centric and anti landlord. So it can make it challenging. So you have to know where you're buying, and you have to understand the rules.
The government cannot handle the amount of homelessness, and they need landlords to take on that responsibility. It's a bad.
The government needs the landlords to take on the responsibility of homelessness. I'm not really sure what she's talking about there. Homelessness is a problem, of course, all over the country. But there's a lot you can learn here. When you want to invest in real estate, you have to know your numbers, you have to screen your tenants, and please don't buy a property which you can't drive by on a regular basis. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.